imagine we have a class with sophomores and juniors in it, and we ask them how many prefer cats versus dogs. And it turns out that 60% of the sophomores prefer cats and 40% of the juniors prefer cats. So we can take this information and put it into one of those tables that we've been looking at. So 60% of sophomores prefer cats. And if we have 50 sophomores and 100 juniors, then we can fill in that we've got 30 sophomores who prefer cats and 40 juniors who prefer cats. So now if we want to look, we know the totals, right? We know that we have 50 total sophomores and 100 total juniors. So that means the remainders prefer dogs. We can see that we've got 20 sophomores and 60 juniors. So if we want to look at probabilities, we can say that the probability that someone prefers dogs, given that they're a junior, is going to be calculated by looking at the junior. So in this conditional probability, we're saying, well, if they're a junior, what's the probability that they prefer dogs? And that we can see is 60 out of 100. And in fact, this is the information that had been given to us. Similarly, we could ask the probability that someone prefers cats, given that they're sophomores. And since we were told that 60% of sophomores prefer cats, we know this will be 60%. And we can get this calculation from our table by looking at our 30 cat our 30 cat lovers out of a total of 50 sophomores. So given that, we can also ask about flipping these probabilities. So in this table, we used our rows to see about the sophomores and the juniors. But we could say, what is the probability that someone's a sophomore if we know that they like cats? So given that somebody prefers cats, which means we're now looking at the cat column, what is the probability that they're a sophomore? So now we're looking at those sophomore cat lovers, but we're dividing by the total number of cat lovers. So similarly, we can say, what's the probability if someone is a dog lover? What's the probability that they're a junior? And so that would be 60 out of 80 because, again, we're looking at the column of all the dog lovers there. So if we have one of these tables, we can get all of these different types of conditional probabilities.